What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots Wire. So within these pitches here, this will be episode 1 of like the Fairs of the Grand Theft Auto playthrough as far as these fairs sound. So within pitch far as saying getting towards it. So yeah, within these recap type fairs pitch like that, it's gonna be some phrase where some of these type episodes might re-splash into other previous type ones within pitch like that. So it's kind of phrase far as saying it's the composition. It may be overall less kind of fairs within the product to like what's in the video, but the pitch far as saying it just has like the aspect of kind of having to be more within the emphatic typeness, like the goings on as far as the sounds. So it's good, nice pitch amongst it within these phrases. So pitch far as saying, and I might do that within certain type sentences. Now within certain type aspects, there are some folks within pitches that will kind of like start like a mission, so you get like the cinematic along with it. But it's gonna be kind of fair as far as saying there's not really ads on this particular channel to begin with as far as saying, but it's the pitch far as saying the product kind of amongst it. I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of go for like the more unorthodox type fair within pitch like that. You might see some cutscenes twice between like this playthrough of it, pitch like that. So it's a phrase for us getting towards this be the aspect of it here. I mean, it's gonna be kind of. I may not do it multiple times if I happen to fail at some of these type missions, but it is gonna be the phrase for us saying within the aspect as far as just getting towards. It's just gonna be. It's just kind of. It's gonna be a redundant playthrough. It's a pitch for us saying it's gonna be frustrating. It's gonna be the pitch. This playthrough. If I do stick with it for a good candid wild pitch like that, it may wind up being more than 10 or 15 hours, something like that. I mean, most standard people can probably beat this game in probably about 8 hours or 13 hours, something like that. But the pitch for us, I think it's kind of the same sort of fray that's happened with Devil May Cry. Sometimes the pitches backtracking, sometimes the products to redundancy, kind of the aspect of dislike, real kind of products of dislike, monotony, and fairs like that. It's gonna be one of those type ones, like typical of some of these type fairs on this Acid Roots Wired channel as far as this pitch gonna happen, but the 20 years plus history of this particular game pitch like that has pissed me off since the phrase. Now within the aspect the subtitles will be on pitch like that since the phrase on top of that as far as these first answers pitch first and it's the product you can kind of haphazardly pay attention to some of these phrases, but I'm going to be speaking during it like I'll say pitch like that. But yeah, we do get to some action in this particular episode. So pitch like that, you're going to see this scenery again, good nice pairs with pitch first saying, so the product first saying some of these type products now within the aspect you now have about 20 minutes within the full bound timeness of the playthrough pitch like that to at least have a couple slices of pizza, some fairs like that. So it's kind of fish. Now they will compositionally kind of get towards more later within these pitches. So it's the active product. If you order like some Domino's, cheesy ass Domino's, some of pitches, or Papa John's, some of fairs like that, some of pitches, plenty of those stuff places, Pizza House, and good fairs like that, some of pitch. As far as saying the aspect kind of amongst. Definitely plenty of those type ones. Little Caesars Pizza, plenty of those type ones on pitch. But the variety as far as saying it's the aspect as far as getting towards that, it is going to have some healthy type content for like the fair, just having the active dying type fair. So pitch as far as saying, initially I was trying to get towards the product with the vehicle type phrase, keeping the vehicle in good condition kind of pops up prominently. You may not see that as much early on, but later on there's going to be submissions from what I remember the pitch as far as saying that does kind of want you to keep the vehicle in good order. So it's kind of composition as far as saying, you know, when paying attention to real life, obviously you don't have like the composition just, you know, going within the you know, you get the bounty within the fray, but the pitch as far as I question I would almost question with some of those type of aspects when the pitch is this it probably feels like you should be able to get like bonus type praise if you keep the vehicle in good order as far as it's too bad that you don't get like money type raises within those pitches if you do extra kind of incentives in it that you just would get more pay within those pitches. I know it'd be a lot to keep track of with the eventual type sense, but it'd be some extra type fares for those pitches down. But yeah, good niceness pitches like that. I'm not sure if whether or not this playthrough could be monetized even with this channel bulking up some of the phrase on top though within pitch for saying just the music from this particular game particular is, I mean, there's some of it that's kind of just custom type songs with pitch for saying it is copyright within some person's pitch. Even this particular one before they got to like the 80s type shit of like, you know, Michael Jackson and folks that like, I think Poison might have been there back then. I don't remember his full band, but some of those type ones, plenty of those type bands and pitches like that, just the whole 80s catalog, all those type folks. Like Rick James, I think, was in that particular game, pitches like that. So, yeah, so plenty of those type folks have been paying attention towards it, but I should definitely have further type knowledge of like particular aspects of the 80s type within aspects person, but that's classic type soundtrack, definitely in those pitches. Very much when you pay attention like the Vice City type game, folks will talk pretty calmly within the aspect of this, the outstandingness of just how they went in with this. Kind of the same for this one, has like some NY type fare, definitely the product of saying, very unfortunate that Big Pun was not alive around this time to be able to be a product of some of these type fairs. It feels very much like the after effect of some of those type pitches of paying attention, like DMX, Big Pun, Jada Kiss, some of those folks like that, paying attention to music type fairs as far as the pitch kind of happens, just kind of feels like the variety of like folks like Eminem and Royce the 5'9" sounds a pitch, but just the aspect as far as saying just more emphasis on like the specific on NY City Grease. It's definitely pitched some of those banner type players pitched like that, but good nice pitches here. So candidates type kickoffs pitched like that. So there's gonna be some music type phrase amongst this album as well, pitched like that as far as those fairs gonna happen. And then pitch as far as saying this the aspect kind of amongst it here. So we're heading to like the pimped heading to like the strip club type phrase for these pairs gonna have this pitch for us saying now it's pretty good composition for like to kick off the game as far as the pairs gonna have this kind of aspect of the saying this was the first actual type mission within this game as far as the pairs kind of saying yeah, getting towards the product this right off the bat, some stuff phrase as far as like the aspect kind of amongst it. Yeah, once again, some of the stuff phrase would work pretty evenly for like the pitch. Just probably the questionnaire of like having this be like movie type phrase pitch like that is just some of those type ones. Especially almost within the concept of it being like a two-part type movie. I would definitely say within pitches, if they were to do something like this, like they did with Kill Bill, it'd definitely be some good nice pitch, just enough of these. Probably, I don't remember as full bound how many missions are in this game. I think there's at least 70 or something like that, which is actually quite a few within these pitches. You get a good ensemble for folks who actually don't as full bound know within these pitches. Yeah, there being 3 islands, pitch like that, being on the first one, and you are locked out of the other type ones unless you have cheats, but even then, like things like the military and some of those type fairs, then the FBI will track you down some of those pitches. But the products for saying, so some of these type pitches, eventually I would assume with these products we're going to get towards the product of having some of these cap off type points of getting tired of the townies and the denizens, fairs like that. But the pitch for saying some of these type products for now just going to pick up Misty, some of the fairs for the pitch can house with the aspects for us, and it's good nice pitches. And this is the hospital within these phrase, so there are like one thing I do miss about the older type Grand Theft Auto games, you could actually get fucked up in these type games. So with the pitch, what I mean by that, you could get addled with some of these pitches. If you hit like the pill insignia pitch like that, you'll particularly be drugged out. And some of the first, you'll get like superpowers pitch like that. It's a mixture kind of between steroids, but it's just kind of pitch for us saying just the probably very similar to Max Payne. If you fucked with that game, as far as saying that pills in that particular game will actually heal Max Payne. Surprising tough factor as far as those first going to happen back in those particular days, but it is the pitch for us saying it's some real type shit when paying attention like those conducts as far as getting towards it within that sort of lighting point. But the pitch for us saying some of those type fairs that it makes you superhuman with the fray, it's actually kind of easier. I'm not as full on sure if you can get like a wanted star, but it's kind of pitch as far as saying that I question how that sort of fray being on like those pill type sets would happen in terms of like a mission type mode. Because probably by the time you got started, I mean, I think if you fuck around and go to like a mission marker within those pitches and then have like the pills in your system is very, or the I would just say like the drink in your system. It's just probably better to say not to recommend pill fairs like that with the pitch for them. But yeah, fair amongst it here. The drug of choice off this particular game is Spank as far as this first game. So it's kind of pitch for saying it's kind of the aspects of some of those stuff pitch, but the aspects for saying get to the crunk type factor. But it doesn't seem like there's too many folks that really have messed with like the aspect of like the addledness kind of amongst this game within the pitch parts and some of those type of products as far as doing that with mission stuff. Or maybe we'll attempt at something like that, but I have to remember, yeah, some good nice pairs here pitched like that. Hobson's pretty good project here pitched like that. I forgot to talk about it with this, and along with Resident Evil, some good bang toughness to fuck with both these good pitches like that. We'll stay tuned for more of these type ones good pitches like that.